Good morning, everyone. Leslie Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with Nancy Quinn. We are here for Marketing Mastery with Kim Vanderpool, and she's going to be talking about hot social media trends. I love it. It's very like clickbaity. What are the hot social media trends right now, Kim? Tell us.
And it's summer, so of course we had to use hot and sizzle and all those kind of fun words. So, well, I think, and it's important that every season we take a look at what our marketing is doing. And summer's a perfect time because you do need to shift the way that you market a little bit in the summer because people aren't as intense. They're usually more in vacay mode. There's a lot of holidays. There's a lot of opportunities for us to be able to connect with our potential client where they're at.
Okay.
And so sometimes we get in a routine with social media, like we're posting 3 times a week and we're going to post an education, a tip, or whatever. But let's take a look at some of what the trends are. And so maybe that will help you fill up that pipeline a little bit or build that know, like, and trust with potential leads so that when you have openings or that we can build that client base or you can just make a new friend on social media. So we're going to talk about 5 different trends today. The first one is authentic video is still queen. And so making
people don't want to hear that, Kim. Well,
I know.
People don't want to show up, but you're right. Yeah, you're right. And I love that you said authentic video. So say more about that.
Well, because people think that you need to hire a videographer to be able to do things, or you need a professional, but really people want to see you working. Put the video on while you're doing a flat lay, or you're looking at different material, or that you're even designing your own dining room table, putting a bouquet of flowers together.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see. They want to see the trust factor on social media, on any online presence right now is a big fat 0. People, we had alluded earlier a little bit about the political climate, the unrest, that people don't trust now. But when you do video, they get to either see your face, see your body, see some type of a movement with you.
Yeah.
It automatically builds a little bit more trust, and that authenticity. They want to see the real you.
I think that's great because, in this industry, we are all about polish and finished spaces. And yes, I do think the social media feeds, like your interior photography should be gorgeous.
Correct.
But you're right that people hire designers. It's not just about your portfolio. It's about you. And if they like you, they know you, they connect with you, they get you and they know you're going to get them. And you do that with really boring, basic phone videos that you put on your stories and people love them.
Right. And and so some examples are being like a walkthrough, a behind the scene walkthrough, kind of like we're in the midst of updoing this kitchen. Look at this great little design feature we added, or this functionality feature that we added.
Yep.
Things like that. They like to see like the real client installs. So they like that. You can do a little bit, 15-second video. It doesn't have to show your whole project.
Mm-hmm.
You can build that anticipation. So that would be a great way to use it. Or another way I don't think designers think about a lot is design dilemmas. So if you come across a dilemma, take a 15-30-second video like, this is what our client's challenges or problem is. There's not enough seating at the kitchen island.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this island. We agree. So this is some of the options that we could do. Real quick, you're showcasing your expertise and you're not giving away everything, but you're just showing a little bit. And so that would be great. Or if you have a lot of images or project photos, you could even create short little reel and then use that as like a B-roll and then put something over top of it. That's a great way. That's how we usually start in the club, is like people are afraid to show their face, but let's start doing some behind the scenes stuff and seeing if we can't get you a little bit more confident. With videos, the more you do, the better you get.
And the easier it gets. It gets way less scary. And I know people are feeling like, well, it has to be, like people are spinning about this. Trust me, if you just show up and start doing video, you are ahead of 90% of people.
Yes.
And you are going to have that edge where people are like, I love her. I love her videos. Oh my gosh, he's so cool. I love what I can't wait to see what he has to say about this kitchen dilemma. You will start to gain a loyal audience because they know you. They feel like they're connected with you.
And one thing that I was hesitant when I started doing videos on my personal channel, I still haven't done it much on my business channel, but my personal one I'm not as afraid of, is that I was like, I'm too overweight. I'm too this and that. It's like, but those people already see me. Like everybody knows what Leslie looks like. Leslie doesn't look at Leslie's self all the time, so she doesn't see herself. So that's something to keep in mind. And last summer I did a video and it was hot. It was like 105 degrees. I walked, I had my glasses on, no makeup, my hair. That was the most popular video on my feed though.
Isn't that annoying? But it works.
And I felt like a dork because, you know, I looked, you know, I was like, oh my goodness, I look like something the cat brought in. But it was relatable, and people were like, oh, I saw that right away in the morning. It made me get out and walk. I couldn't use heat as an excuse because people got out there and did it. So you never know who you're going to inspire. And so, and designers can do that too. Is like, you never know who you're going to inspire and relate to. And that when that person's ready to hire you, they're like, oh, I remember she did this and I really liked her. Yeah. So short video, and then color driven content. So Ooh. Summer and aesthetics matter. So summer 2025, according to the experts, it's all about earthy brights, like a dopamine decor type and tactile textures. And so sharing your feeds using a storytelling about the seasonal palettes and textures. So that would be something that would be, you could do. So you could highlight your summer colors like in flat lays or styling tips or even paint combos. Mm-hmm. So an example would be to use like a carousel post and do 3 color combos I'm loving this summer. Or you could do on Mondays, you could do a design mood of the week and kind of show something. So one thing designers I will sometimes hear in the club is like, well, I don't want to give away all my ideas. But this is showing expertise and not giving away all your ideas. It's just showing that you know and that you're aware of the trends. Because if you're going to hire a designer, you want to hire someone that is aware of what's trendy, but also can bring in the classic element. But they know what's on trend a little bit, because if you're designing, you probably don't want a house that grandma had. Sometimes that's on trend. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I like that you say that, Kim. I feel like there's some designers that really embrace what's current and trendy, and others are just like, that's not my thing. But I'm telling you, even if trendy is not your thing, and I feel like maybe I fall into that camp, like I like to stick to sort of my vision. Uh-huh. First of all, there's no way you're not inspired by trends. And second of all, even if you're not doing all the cutesy, trendy things in your projects, it's really important to showcase that you are an expert who knows what's happening in your industry and in this world. Clients resonate with that. They want to know that you know what's going on, that you are coming at this from a perspective of an industry insider, an industry expert.
Correct. And I'm not a trend follower on design or even social media. I believe in that tried and true. You show up consistent and you do the work. You will get the results. And there's always these new, well, you need to do this, and that. Well, not always, but knowing what the trends are can help either educate or maybe it will inspire something for a certain client. Another thing that I see a lot of people don't take advantage of is collaborating and local tagging. So partnering with local artists or furniture makers or builders and tagging them can go really far. Summers are full of arts festivals and craft shows. If you have your favorite person, take a selfie and share that and tag them, because you're going to get in front of their audience and it shows that you're supporting local artists, which also makes other people feel good. So, so if you're out in any of the community events, take a picture, tag it, take a picture and save it for later. Maybe even do a highlight like this was what my July was, and then sharing it that way. Designers who show up locally get seen online, and that's a key that we often forget. If you're looking for ideas on posting content, you could do a Friday favorite with a local collab just through the summer. Make it a short 8-week series or something. Cute. And then highlight vendors in your stories and reels. Or if you have certain vendors or certain artists that you love, share their work in your story and give them that credit and those kudos. You could also do what's trendy is doing mini educational series via stories or carousels and doing it in bite-sized pieces. So 1 room, 3 layouts would be an example, or how to mix patterns, or why I chose this finish. We want to know why you chose a finish. It wasn't until I was doing social for an interior designer that I didn't understand having all vanilla walls wasn't necessary. But my husband told me, oh, that's what we need to do for resale. And she goes, no, all white walls is really vanilla. Have your style. Yeah. But, sharing those insights on your beliefs and in design. Or another designer in the club the other day said, so many of us approach design by what it looks pretty, but really we need to look at function also. And not most of us didn't think about the function, so sharing your education. So yeah, see if you could do like a school Thursdays or something like that. So that would be a posting idea to go with the trends. And it's always trendy, no matter what time of the year, is to try to engage with your audience. So either using polls or prompts, quizzes, this or that, are really good things. So any of that, help your followers. If you're like, hey, my client wants these two paints, what paint would you choose in your wall? Those kind of things. People love to be part of that process.
They do.
Especially if you're doing it in your own home, then you can have even a little bit more control. Or if you're trying to decide if you want to buy a kitchen table for your own home, let people help you in that process, even if you know what you really want. But
I was going to comment on that. I'm like, I really already know the answer, but it's still fun to see what people think and get them engaged.
Right. And for them to, when you're educating them that there's a lot of options, that just because you like one idea doesn't like that. So an idea for content would be doing a design dilemma of the week. Like that could be something you could do, like a 6-week series if you wanted to do that. So those were kind of the five big trend things, is color and knowing that, top trends for your industry.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. One is from me and one is from Lisa, who's watching on YouTube. My question is, I've noticed that you have mentioned several times these themed posts, these series. Does that come from a place of just making it easier for you? Are they really well received, or is it kind of both?
I would say both. One, there's nothing worse than sitting down to a blank screen when you have to practice, pull content. So it helps you provide that structure. Plus, if someone knows that you're offering a design dilemma for the next 6 weeks and I'm interested in that, I'm going to come back and watch it every 6 weeks.
So it's kind of teasing people and...
Yes. Well, it's building that trust factor more than anything. An example I'll use is, say that you set me up for a blind date. So I go down to the local coffee shop and going to meet that person, and they don't show up. They apologize and whatever, and then say, please give me another chance. I said, all right. So I go down and I meet them again, and they didn't show up. My trust for them showing up that third time is zilch. That's what we do online. If we promise that we start putting content out and then we don't show up for a month because our life gets busy, which happens, we don't have that trust anymore. And you know what? Once trust is broken, it's harder to build. And
so it's a subtle trust factor to say that I'm doing an X week series or a Friday series.
Yes.
Advice, Kim.
Yep. And so make it short. If you don't think you can commit to 8 weeks, make it 4 weeks. And then if it's going well and you like it and you're consistent with it, say, okay, I got an extra 2 weeks for you. So yeah, but that helps you also know that, okay, for Fridays, I don't have to think about content. I'm doing a community spotlight for the next 5 months.
It's a twofer. You show up, you build trust, people know they come back, and you get some of the mental burden lifted off of trying to figure out what to post.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. All right. And Kim, this is the question that came in from Lisa on YouTube. She says, does this apply to commercial interior designers? I specialize in animal care interior design. That's interesting.
Awesome. That is a wonderful niche.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, I think it does. There's so much, especially if you are trying to build a larger clientele and to get your brand out there. It can really brand. You just have to think about how you can take some of those trends and those tips and turn it into your specific niche. And hint, if you're not using AI or ChatGPT, this is where you could say, I learned these tips or had these tips. This is my area. Can you help me see how I can bring this into my specific niche? And ChatGPT will give you some great ideas to at least get that starting point.
Yeah. And I will say, sort of bonus tip, animals do so great on social media. So if you're doing animal related design, all those puppies.
One idea would be too, is if you have your own dog, use that as like your design mascot and put little fun hats on and a tip from Tommy today or whatever. Like there's so much you can do with that. Or, if, my dog's name's Kaya's tip for the weekend or whatever, Kaya's Saturday thought or something.
Well, that's adorable. I want to do it. My dog's on my floor right now, but she's not on Instagram. I should make that happen.
Right. It's free. For one, it would tie really nice into this gal's industry, her niche.
Yeah.
2, for your eye, I have had someone hire me because I had a picture of me and my poodles on my website, and they had poodles. Because if you're a poodle lover or you're a lab lover and they see that, you
Yeah.
automatically develop that know, like, and trust, because, like, how can I not trust them? They have poodles.
They have puppies.
Right, right.
Right. So what you're telling me is I need to get my dog on my Instagram some more.
I
I'm
think
on it.
so.
She's
Yes,
very cute.
yes, yes. On your Instagram, especially if you use the dog proof fabrics and have them sitting on the couch, you can talk about your couch fabric and your dog. Like,
Well, you've just given me a great idea. Thank you, Kim. Bonus for last
anytime,
week.
you
This
know.
is so good. I'm always sort of leery of topics that have to do with these hot trends, but I think you've packaged this nicely. Like, these are not just hot trends. This is just smart social media strategy for what's happening right
Well,
now.
right. And knowing that summer, it's okay to be a little bit lighter,
Yep.
because people are, what you want them, if you think about your person sitting on the beach scrolling through their phone, you
Mhm.
want them to stop and look at your image and read your content.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? And sometimes they don't want the heaviness that sometimes we post. They want the lighter summer post. So
I love it. Well,
yes.
thank you so much,
Yes.
Kim. You have mentioned the club several times. And if people have been watching that don't understand what that is, share a little bit about your Get It Done Club, because that's something that all of our Profit Insiders Academy designers get access to work with you. And it is a great resource with you leading it to help people get their social media done. So what's the deal with the Get It Done Club?
Okay, so the Get It Done Club is something we're very passionate about. We have open office hours, 5.5 hours a week, where you can hop on. I'll answer any questions. I'll help with any of the tech challenges you may have. We'll help you with content. We'll help you with marketing strategy, whatever you need in your online presence. Some people use it just as a work time. They'll just hop in, know that they've got that hour set aside a week to work. We have a scheduler. I show them how to make reels, how to do anything you might need to know. Our goal is to make your social media simplified and short, so that you're not spending hours on doing things. We included with the club is you get a content scheduler, so that you can go ahead and schedule your content. You also get our academy, which has got all kinds of trainings. And then every Friday morning, we do a micro training. So we spend 10 or 15 minutes teaching you how to do something you might not know how to do. Like a couple weeks ago, it was how to write captions. One time it was all about hooks. What are hooks, and how do you write good hooks? How to create reels. So it's all kinds of things that you may need to know in a bite-sized piece, so that you're not spending hours, or the training isn't stuck in your inbox someplace because it's too overwhelming.
I love it. So if you are looking for social media help, whether it's the Get It Done Club for support or Kim just taking it off your plate, she's at freshimpactsocialmedia.com. And of course, she's back here every month with us too for Marketing Mastery. Kim, thank you. Enjoy your summer up in the north. I know the weather is beautiful. I'm going to stay indoors because it's hot here in Georgia, but you enjoy, and I'll see you back here next month.
All right. Sounds good.